Hey guys, this is Bruce, and welcome to another Cybersecurity Inbox episode. We're talking about cybersecurity subject matter expert, and this one is located in Fort Collins, Colorado, which is like northern part of Colorado-ish, somewhere by Denver, I think. Before we start on this, you should know that if you follow this link right here, this little thing that's scrolling across here, and also I'll have a link in the description below, you can find more information on stuff like this, like how to get into these positions, how am I able to get all of these opportunities all the time. I share with you that stuff on this link right here, and some stuff that I don't put on YouTube because it's just more information, it's more in depth, and it's just not for this audience. Okay, without further ado, let's get into this. So this is client name is hp.com. And it's a contract position for Fort Collins, Colorado, cybersecurity subject matter expert. That's what SME means. Let me see if I can show you that. Okay, there it is right there. That right there is what I'm trying to show you. Right there. All right. So, and I'll have the contact information below if you're interested in getting this job. There's two reasons I do these things. It's for noobs who want to know like what is this cybersecurity field alike, or what is IT, what is project management, what are they like, what are they looking for, what kind of things do they ask you for if you're trying to get these jobs, so that as a noob, like if you're trying to get into this field, how to prepare. And also I do this for people who actually are already in the field, who actually are looking for this job. So you may have typed in cybersecurity SME and then this came up, and you should apply for it. Even if this is a year later, these jobs like rotate people in and out, so you never know, they might have another position that that's for you. So yeah, I'll have the contact information below, so don't worry about that. Okay, here we go. What are they looking for? This applies advanced subject matter knowledge to solve complex business issues in regards to a subject matter expert. All right, this is like really, let's see what they're actually asking you to do. Let's just go straight to the responsibilities. Let's just go straight to this portion here, responsibilities. I was kind of reading this part right here, but that's kind of nebulous. We need specific things that they need from us. What do they need from us? Okay. They want you to manage stakeholders' relationships. What does that mean? Stakeholders are the people who have a vested interest in the IT systems, information systems. Like let's say you had a system that ran all of the network printers on base on a military installation, right? And it's one server, and it's very important because many people use this printer device, and maybe it also does scans and faxes and all that kind of stuff, and it's one server. Stakeholders would be the people who are responsible for maintaining the system, like the maintenance guys, the administrators who put accounts on there and make sure that only certain people have accounts on there. It's also the person who is the lead. If there's a lead security person who's in charge of making sure that there's security on the system, that's also a stakeholder. Another stakeholder might be a privacy person, like a person who makes sure that no privacy data is put on printers. I don't know why that would be an issue, but that would be a stakeholder if they had a privacy person who was involved with that. Maybe you'd have a person who does ComSec, making sure there's no security, no secret information, or if it was a TS printer, you make sure that no secret information goes on the TS printer, or no top secret information goes on a secret printer, and no secret data goes on an unclassified. These are all stakeholders. These are people with a vested interest in maintaining and making sure it works, and making sure it works properly in the way they're supposed to. That's what a stakeholder is. So they want you to manage stakeholder relationships. So you're going to be right in the middle of all these people and making sure that, and that's, as a security person, as a cybersecurity person, that's a lot of times is what I've done, is I'm in between. I'm talking to the IT guy who fixes that printer server, and he has to articulate. I've got to take what he tells me and articulate it to managers who want to make sure it works properly and everything like that. So I've got to I'm a go-between. Sometimes I'm writing documents that put all these stakeholders, all their information in one document, in one policy. Manage mid to upper. This is a management position. Manage mid to upper level stakeholder relationships across cybersecurity, information technology, business groups, and external providers. So this is mid management. So this is not like a regular dude here. Sounds like to me. It sounds like a manager position. Engage service delivery teams. Communicate with partners to ensure patching and policy compliance. So this seems like an upper level dude who's managing the policy and compliance folks, or maybe you're just communicating with them. Let's keep going. I need a better understanding of what's going on here. Manages and proactively monitors HP security system issues, threats, runs complex analysis and security vulnerabilities, incident and threats, and uses root cause search to inform HP recovery process. I missed one. Continuous search and removal of any device triggering vulnerability scans. So this is normal. Normally you have like a scanner. In some organizations you have a scanner, and one example might be I'm trying to give you an example of a scanner, retina scan. I don't know if they use that anymore, but retina scanners, or not to be confused with the eye retina scan. They had something called a retina scan that did a vulnerability and compliance scanning. Nessus is another one that does continuous scanning to look for patches. Another one's called Big Fix, where it just looks for outdated patches. And what it'll do is, in some cases, it can even repair the patch on workstations, repair the patch. And in some instances, you have to have a group that actually patches it manually, because if it's a server, there's only certain time frames that you can do it, and if it goes down, you're affecting a bunch of people in your organization. So you got to be careful with that. So that's what they mean by continuous search and removal of any devices that trigger the key vulnerability scans. And the thing is, if you can't patch it, you may have to, in a certain period of time, and it's not a critical system, you may have to actually remove it from the environment. And in some cases, it's not even supposed to be there in the first place. Somebody plugs something in, you just have to find it and remove it. So, or block the MAC address or whatever, or block the IP or whatever. Manage, let me see, what else do we have here? Implements, monitors, and manages advanced security technologies such as threat and vulnerability management, CIEMs, which is a SIEM, also known as a Security Information Event Manager. That's a system that collects all the logs and then allows you to more easily correlate when somebody came into the firewall and then infiltrated a server, if that's what happened, or see patterns throughout the environment by looking at all the logs in one place. So it goes on to say firewalls, IPS, endpoint protection, detection and response, and other related solutions. So these are things you're just going to implement, monitor, and they're not giving specifics on what devices they use, but a SIEM example might be ArcSight, or it might be Splunk. Firewalls, there's so many different kinds of firewalls. Palo Alto firewalls, Palo Alto, Cisco, many of the major information technology companies that focus on infrastructure have firewalls, but the main ones are Cisco right now, Palo Alto, and the one that's escaping me right now, which is McAfee firewalls. Those are just some examples. And they also, all those people have IPSs of some sort, and endpoint. So these are all things that you're going to implement, monitor, and manage. So that's pretty cool. I mean, that's a really well-rounded. They're looking for a really sharp dude, like a really well-rounded person here that's versed in many different security tools. You have to call them to see what tools they actually use, because one of the smart things that some of the employers do is they don't say specifically what kind of products that they use, because it's giving away too much information. If you think about it, giving too much information already, because it says they're saying it's at Fort Collins. They're telling you that they have all these things, but they're not telling you like what actual systems they have, for good reason, because somebody could take this information and then use it to attack them if they did. I'm always apprehensive about even reading these things in a public forum, even though they already put it publicly, you know. But I'm just always kind of like, damn, they're putting too much information out there, you know. Anyway, analyzes vulnerabilities, attacks, or threats to determine risk, adversary intent, and prioritizes mitigation responses. Just means that you're looking at weaknesses in the system. You're looking at how other people can exploit those weaknesses. For example, what happens if I send out an email that tells everybody in my organization to click this link, and then that link takes them to a site that will hack their computer, or download that will upload something to their computer? You know, that's a attack vector that might be a weakness in your organization. And as a cybersecurity expert, you're supposed to look for things like that, weaknesses in your organization's behaviors, in their technology, and how they implement and configure things. Testing, documenting, evaluating, remediating, and these are things that you're going to do. You're going to look at the weaknesses and you're going to say, okay, how can somebody exploit this weakness? And then how are you going to do that? You're going to use testing. You're going to document what you find. You're going to evaluate the weakness and how they can exploit it. Then you're going to try to remediate it. You're going to have meetings with your group and say, okay, let's get together. How can we fix this, guys? We found this weakness here, you know, and you're using scanning tools. They're going to have tools that you can actually use, you know, and in addition to you being a subject matter expert, you already know certain weaknesses that are common in most organizations, best practices that they're supposed to be implemented. But then you're going to take it a step further because you have tools to go ahead and scan and do things like that. So you have a huge advantage with scanners and things like that. This guy that they're looking for is a high level dude. They're expecting you to have a bachelor's degree in some sort of either computer science or engineering or related or equivalent experience. Typically 6 years of relevant experience. And the reason why I say this they're looking for a pretty awesome guy or girl is that it's so diverse. They're looking for somebody who's going to install, monitor, and manage a SIEM, a firewall, an IPS, an endpoint protection device. I mean, it's almost too much. Like for me, like even if I could do all that stuff, I'd be like, damn, like, do you guys have other people doing this stuff, or is it just going to be me? That's what I would wonder. Okay, so certifications that they desire is a technical cybersecurity certification, and then they list a couple that they are interested in getting from ISC Squared, which is the CAP, the CISSP, and some others. ISACA, I believe, is a CISA or CISM, and then ConvoCourses. They've got some awesome certifications under their belt. So they're not particular. They say one certification, security certification from one of these bodies. And then further things that they want you to have is scripting skills, security system analyst skills, network monitoring protocol understanding, lots of stuff. They just want this person to know everything. I'm always leery about stuff like this because these kind of positions where you're wearing so many hats, usually they want you to work a lot of hours, like extra hours. So this one's a little bit much. But if you're interested, I will have all of this stuff that you're reading here below. Check it out. I'm going to end this because I've been talking a really long time about this. I have to cut this one short. So that's it, guys. Talk to you later.